The following live stream has been approved for restricted audiences only. It will definitely contain strong language and maybe some adult themes. Almost certainly. Viewer inebriation is advised.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome back to Last Call. I have been looking forward to tonight all week, to chatting and spending time with all of you and having a nice, refreshing adult beverage. And speaking of chatting and looking forward to things, we're going to be chatting about the films we're expecting to see in the coming year and which, if any, we're looking forward to. Not expecting anything terribly spicy, well, except maybe my drink. Should be a pretty laid-back and relaxed evening. So let's get started. Get comfortable, top off your glasses, tell me what you're sipping on in the chat, and we'll get this Canarble Wagon rolling right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Salud, welcome. Good to see all of you. Thank you. I apologize for being late. Normally I am Johnny on the spot, but today I'm Troy behind the 8-ball. Was working on my Bloody Mary that I've been looking forward to all week, and I'd kind of forgotten how much of a salad this drink is. I mean, I guess they want to make sure that you get a full meal with your drink, but trust me, I got a double here, and it's going to be yummy. I've been looking forward to this. I'm going to start with top of the chat, Connie Cleary. I think she was here early and then stepped out and then came back again. And, of course, JPRPH1. John, welcome. So glad you are here. David Pensek, chirp to Connie. That is so cool. And Vasalud to my to one of my favorite Blue Wrenches, deleted scenes. Think he'd be getting tired of me, but he still comes around. I appreciate that. I really do. Lady V, another one of my favorite Blue Wrenches. Pinch and deleted scenes. Oh, watch it, guys. Watch it. Let's see here. She's doing very good. I'm glad to hear that. And of course, Mr. Londell's Groove Movies. Greetings, welcome. So glad you are here. Hugging the netter. That's always a good thing. Troy, oi. Well, thank you very much, Lady Vavavi. I think that comes out better said aloud than it does in text. But, it's still good. Big Al, looking forward to Snowpiercer tomorrow. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Agent Boomer, let's get you in here, my designated driver. Add to stage. There you go. How you doing, my friend, and what are you sipping on?
I'm doing fine. I just got a Coke here. I was munching on some pretzels earlier.
You're snorting some Coke, huh? Okay. Well,
okay. Anyway.
Because you need to stay up for the late night stream, right?
I have to tell you, this is going to be an interesting one. So I cobbled together, this is nothing to post on the stream. This is just something I'm going to be using as a reference. So I decided, let's go to various different sites and see what all the studios have upcoming, not just for 24, but I'm hoping to go well beyond. I want to see what we have to look forward to the entire decade. I don't know if they're all not going to go that far, but some of them maybe. Okay, I want to see.
I was going to say, I said, this is like, there was this scene in one of the Star Trek episodes where Geordi took there was an incident, and they were trying to solve a mystery. So they had some footage from someone's tricorder. They uploaded it into the holodeck, and they created it in 3 dimensions so that he could go and stand inside of it and look around. And as people walked off the area that was being scanned, he said to the computer, I want you to extrapolate their actions beyond that. And the computer calculated some value of possible error, because it's a prediction, which, goes up exponentially, which I find interesting because that's kind of how generative AI works right now, So anyway, the further out you go, the more you're guessing, right? So we know and weather works the same way. What the weatherman predicts for today is probably pretty good. Tomorrow, yeah. And the further out you go, the more likely it is that it's not going to be what's called for. But we'll be looking at the movies for definitely this year, and it'll get a little more sketchy as we go a little bit further out. We got Gorilla Random Thoughts. Welcome. Good to see you. Always good to see all of you. Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. Bonsoir. Welcome.
Bonsoir.
And let's see here. I should have, if you guys are going to greet me in foreign languages, I should at least get the language of my heritage. Hapla! I'll be lurking, trying to put a 3-year-old to bed. Okay, well, good luck to you, my friend. I'm not sure that this stream will necessarily be conducive to that, but let's hope.
I've had a Bloody Mary or two in my time,
Have you? Have you had a Bloody Mary looking into a mirror and calling out the drink's name 3 times?
I will not be doing that, no. I just got done with Late Night with the Devil before the stream, so I'm none of this nonsense.
Let me tell you.
I'm in the mood tonight.
I was thinking, let me see, can I get a film clip or something? And I ran across, looking up Bloody Mary on YouTube. You get a lot of videos about how to make it. Okay, put those aside. A bunch of short movies that I'm going to have to go back and watch later. But there was one that is a 360-degree experience. You know how you can move the video back and forth, look all the way around you, looking into a mirror. You're in a bathroom. There's a shower behind you. There's a door to your right. Yes, to your right. I think a window to your left. And I'm just kind of taking in the view, and then all of a sudden I hear a male voice, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. I'm like, shit, I'm not ready for this. Pause. I figure there's going to be a jump scare or some crap like that. I'm like, I don't have time for this crap.
Well, that was the movie Candyman. Remember Candyman? Which I believe was based on the Clive Barker story. And that was, instead of it being Bloody Mary, it was Candyman. Remember? That was Virginia Madsen was in that. Remember? Yeah, that was.
I absolutely remember Virginia Madsen.
Yeah, and what's his name? Todd.
Tony Todd was Candyman.
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw an early screening of that at a local theater. Tony Todd was there.
Oh, awesome.
In fact, a lot of the Klingon group was there, and I was kind of hoping Virginia Madsen would be there, but she wasn't.
Oh, wow.
And we found out later on that someone that we went to church with was one of the extras in that movie because it was filmed here in Chicago.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't Netter this time. But yes, I love you too, Netter, and let's get you in here. And what are you sipping on? I know what you're sipping on because you're having the same thing I am.
I'm sipping on a slightly smaller cup size.
Yeah, mine is,
right. So my tiny cup size.
Netter is a tiny cup size, but it's still a good handful.
Those look good. I forgot why I got mine the one night. I think they were having a special on them, and I.
Do you eat the parsley?
I don't know. I used to eat the celery.
It's like a palate cleanser.
Why not? I said
it's not going to kill you.
It's like a salad. It's like a salad.
Did I eat this? Remember when you went to Friendly's and you would get one of those plates and they put a little stick of parsley on the plate to make it look a little fancier, even though it's.
I'll tell you what, a little bit of parsley. Oh, that is. I haven't had parsley in a long time. Parsley is best, on the side of your plate when you're having a steak. I think it goes well together.
Yeah, the parsley is intended to be a palate cleanser. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a lot of different flavors in your mouth and you want to cleanse, for dessert, you have your parsley. It cleanses your palate. Then when you eat your dessert, you're not tasting like garlic or whatever it is.
That is a little spicy. That's good. You like it?
Yeah, I already had some.
I'm glad you like it. I wouldn't have thought this would be the kind of thing you'd like.
Well,
there's paprika in it, and there's Tabasco and horseradish. I know.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah. And a lot of tomato juice and
somewhere in there are some olives floating around.
Yeah, I got a couple of garlic olives in there. I'll get to those at the bottom. It's something to look forward to, you know. And
Dessert.
a good deal of vodka, but and it's rimmed with celery salt. So yummy. It's very good.
No, I mean it sounds delicious. I just it's just I got to be the designated driver, right?
You are going to have to be the designated driver, yeah.
I'll change.
But that. I didn't front load tonight, so I'm really. You just saw me take my first sip.
Well, we got to be alert because we're going through some lists here, and granted, this is just me. The Mac, I'll tell you, Macs have this wonderful thing where you go to the print option, you can save any page on the internet as a PDF. So I was just saving all these different guides, and then I combined them into one big guide. But it's loosey-goosey. It's all over the place.
Okay.
So let me know when you want me to start, okay? So,
Sure.
right.
Evelyn Hampton is having a V8 herself. I'm guessing probably not with the vodka. Just guessing. But, you know, I mean, we're kind of in solidarity. Kind of very, very similar drinks.
I wouldn't mind a V8 right now.
See, now here's the thing. I've tried V8. Because I love tomato juice.
It's not just tomato juice, though.
It does not taste anything like tomato juice. Because I figured, okay, it's a tomato juice-based thing. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. I think it tastes nasty.
It's got carrots in it, I think, yeah.
It's got so much stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't tomato juice. Doesn't taste anything like tomato juice. I can't even describe the flavor. But
we got a flavor
like
that had, like, some fruit flavors in it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like it would be good.
No,
it was not.
It was not.
No, I don't like the fruit ones. I every once in a while I'll eat it. I mean, it's been years, but I'll drink it with V8.
Jesse Guahar, though, welcome.
You get low sodium versions too, apparently.
Okay. I think I just got some of the horseradish. Ugh.
Well, I mixed it. I mean, you shouldn't have gotten like a bunch of it at once.
I got something that was very bitter.
I don't know why it said mix it lightly. I would have thought this would have been one for really shaking. Next time I'll really shake it. And real quick, just...
Hey, I'm probably going to switch to my water.
And welcome, Tim Hayes. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Saying hi to everybody there. Good. I'm glad. And I hope I don't miss anybody. Please don't let me. I see a lot of you guys saying hi to each other.
Yep. And like Lady B had posted in the chat, show the love. Troy's only got 9 thumbs up, and there's 19 of y'all watching.
Thank you so much.
Come on, show the love. It's just a little click of a button. And you get a prize. You click that button, you get to see my husband acting like a fool.
That is right. Well, what she said is right, but I'm also saying that Big Al is right too. Identity crisis. That's a goofy one, yeah, where Geordi turns into an alien. Look, every time a crew member morphs into some sort of alien form, they're really stretching for episode ideas. They did it to Tom Paris and Captain Janeway. That episode, it's best we don't even talk about that.
Remember the TNG episode where they were all de-evolving?
Yeah, they turn into like spiders and stuff. It's like
that was so bad. I'm sorry.
Was that the one where they were all de-evolving? Actually,
Data should have turned into a toaster. I was mad.
Yeah, right. I was digging it with the exception of I didn't. Barkley turning into a spider made 0 sense. Everything else kinda sorta made sense. The spider thing, not at all. Just
like
given the way evolution works, you know. In fact, you know, those of us in the Klingon, you know, fandom are still kind of like trying to parse out the whole Klingon thing. I'm like,
evolution.
If that's like a Klingon Neanderthal type of thing, you know, there might be something there. You know, so we're still trying to parse that out. Yes, Evelyn.
Wait! I need to say special flow. Lester San Jose's Skeptic Tank is in the chat.
Yes,
right now.
how you feeling, my friend? We want to know. We have been very concerned about you.
Been praying for you. I'm hoping that you're doing better, my friend.
And while you're typing at us, I did want to real quick go back to Evelyn. Evelyn remembers it clearly. Seeing Tony Todd. We didn't really meet him there. He was up in the balcony with his entourage, and he kind of came out and said hi to everybody.
Yeah, because at the beginning he came out to the, I guess you would call it stage area, and greeted everyone, said, "I hope you like the film," and told a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And then retreated to the balcony, and he didn't really.
I'm not even
too
sure.
long.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he stayed to watch the movie.
Yeah, it's like he was up there for a while, and then at the end of the movie we were looking for him, we couldn't find him, so we think he probably left after. Okay, everyone's engrossed in the movie. I can go now.
Yeah, he says he's been much, much better. Good.
Oh, they're so good.
Genesis is 171st episode.
Oh,
yeah,
my
that's
goodness,
right.
wait.
That was Genesis.
60 pounds of water weight swelling drained out. Oh my goodness.
What did they do? Tap you like a keg?
Pretty much.
How do they get? Oh well, you know what? I'll bet you. No, I know what they did. They put you on a diuretic. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Well, good on you. Have they said anything about Well, it was circulatory related, right? It had something to do with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make me pee. Yeah. They had you on water pills, I'm sure. No doubt about it. Real quick, want to say hi to Matanui. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you.
I'm just so glad you're doing so much better, Lester.
Yep.
We've all been so worried
We've
about
been
you.
concerned, yeah.
Yeah. After watching your vids about how you were doing, it's like, oh my goodness. So
Curtis Selby left the I think it was during the Bolero watch party, and he left and jumped back in, and he's like, guys, Lester's sick. Check out his channel. Be praying for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we saw your note, but yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks for being here.
I figured you're just here for a laugh because the more Troy drinks. Hi, Thade. How you doing, sweetie?
Oh yeah, good to see you, Thade. Welcome. There you go. Okay, so first off, our finals over with now?
Well, yes and no. Okay, the stuff I was working on this week that I wanted to get done, I got done yesterday afternoon. Handed the paper in, did my other project. I'm like, good. And I was like, I just have this final thing to do for the class. And then I realized, this is a bit more involved than I thought it would be, but I'm still in good shape. I'm just going to spend some time working on it tomorrow. It's not due till a week from Monday. This final thing. It's basically conducting the reference interview. So which I'll get into at a later date. But I'm in better shape than I thought I would be, so I actually got done sooner. I'm done with the one class. The one class is done because she's a quick grader, so the one class is done. So I'm just waiting on this one.
Yeah, and that's why you had wanted. I know you wanted to be there on Monday for
Bolero.
Yes. Yeah. Bolero is. It's a movie.
I know. I could have seen it.
It happened. It happened.
Seen all of it.
It was.
I have a question. You can spoil the movie. Does the guy recover from the Bull Run accident?
Oh yeah. She inspires him. She inspires him very much.
Was he missing any pieces, if you know what I mean?
I would imagine not. It's implied. They don't really kind of go into any detail. You kind of have to assume that if the soldier is able to stand at attention, it works well enough.
So I had an image of a Chicago-style hot dog. I'm just saying, like the split. Never mind. Let's not talk about this on air.
Yeah. They get married at the end, which also seems to imply that things are working well enough. Because that was one of his. That was one of his. Stipulate. Because after the injury, she tries to propose to him, and he's like, no, because I'm all broken.
Well, someday you'll have to do a double feature of what was it, Mata Hari, and what was the other, Sylvie Crystal, and Lady Chatterley's Lover. Those were the other two. So that'll be
okay. I'm good with
not
that.
anytime. So you can take a break. Like I said, I do want to come on during my birthday week, and we'll do a double feature, and we'll talk about it more later. But yeah,
But honestly, I had forgotten how good a movie 10 was. I mean, that was...
No, that's a genuinely good movie.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great movies in the 70s. 70s might be the best decade for movies, period, but definitely a lot of great movies in the 70s.
You know, a lot of the guys, like the guys over at Midnight's Edge, Tom and whatnot, they've been talking a lot lately about kind of the trends in films and how the 70s got into a lot of that gritty realism type of stuff. And it was all original stories. I mean, it was all stuff that nobody had ever heard before. So, they were always taking chances, So, I mean, I think it's all good. And I think we're about due for that kind of thing, and it's...
Considering the state of the nation, we're definitely chaotic, like the 70s, maybe more so. And but Hollywood's still giving us this prepackaged crap. But
look at the movies that are doing the best, and that tells you, what people want to see. These people, I'm seeing videos now. Who's that pretty blonde girl that was in Madam Web, who didn't get to be pretty or blonde?
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. She's a big deal these days because she's really pretty and she doesn't say stupid shit. Did I get past the 50? I didn't even get past. Oh yeah, I got past the 15-minute mark. Saying stupid shit, on social media and in interviews to piss everybody off, right? So those two things alone make everybody in Hollywood hate her because they're all left-wing wackadoos that want to... I said we weren't going to get spicy, right?
You have to get spicy. You got a Bloody Mary.
I'm getting spicy. But, and it's like, look, people just want to be entertained. We want to see pretty people. And I mean men, women, whatever. We want to see attractive people.
Yes.
The only time they're ugly is when it's necessary for the role. Otherwise, we want, some eye candy.
You know who else was in Madam Web? The actress that played Dora in the Dora the Explorer movie. She was one of the actresses in that.
Thank you, Netter. That was spicy too. I did not know they made a Dora the Explorer. I'm probably...
I remember a bunch of men were saying, oh, I feel funny about this. Oh, good, she's 18. The actress who was playing her.
I know, right? It's like, please, don't be doing this. Chances are, if I were to go out looking for that movie, I'd end up downloading the wrong one,
Oh, boy.
I'd be like, yeah, she better be over 18, Actually, it's funny because I have seen some clips on YouTube of a live stage performance, like a parody type of thing.
Yeah.
A Dora the Explorer type thing, and it's full of like crass adult jokes, what's in the backpack? She's carrying some cocaine for somebody to take it across stuff like that,
For the Colombians, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And then somebody ends up getting shot, and
they could have Al Pacino starring as the they'll de-age him, he'll be Tony Montana.
This is a 45. Can you count to 45? It's like, it's all that kind of stuff. Yeah, demonetized, right? Well, I'm not monetized, so I don't have to really care. Guys, I would love to have that kind of problem. I would love to be monetized. I know it's not even halfway through the year yet, and my goal was to get monetized this year. There's still a long way to go, but guys, this week I've been very, very disappointed in my progress. I have got to get my watch hours up. So this is why I added the movie night, and it's helped, but it's a moving target, because you need 3,000 watch hours in a 365-day period. Well, what happens is that 365 days is that target is always moving one day at a time, so I gotta outpace it in order to catch up. It's just, you guys don't care. Don't worry about that.
I care.
I want to thank a member of our chat, John, for giving a donation to the Rum Fund for me Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's
appreciate
because on Monday he was there with us on Monday, and Netter was saying she was sad because she's running out of coconut rum. So or was that Thursday night? Maybe it was Thursday night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Remember Mary Poppins Rum Punch?
Rum Punch.
They'll be crying about that next in the next trigger warning.
I don't give a crap what they cry about anymore. Honestly, I really don't care anymore. I mean, it's sickening. It really is. But
let's talk about something important. As what's his name?
Well, no, I actually need to do this for Netter first. Hold on a second.
What do you got to do? Oh,
release the Kraken. Release the Kraken. The Kraken.
Why is the rum always gone?
I miss those movies.
Normally, yeah, I do too, and I'm gonna miss the next movie that they put out because there's no Johnny Depp, no pirates. I swear.
Yeah. How can you have a pirate movie without pirates?
Well, they're just gonna gender swap and all that kind of crap. I'm not interested at all.
How you doing, PJ?
Oh, hey, PJ. PJ was, well, she's prettier. I'm sorry, PJ, but I meant to bring up you. I was sharing with you how bummed I have been and how I've kind of been struggling about this whole YouTube thing. And, PJ was in there today trying to build me up and trying to encourage me. He is good people. Guess there really weren't enough alpacas. No, you're absolutely right, man. He's referencing something that Johnny Depp had said about he wouldn't come back if they gave him $1 million and 1 million alpacas or something like that. It was something like that, and I think it's pretty clear he has no interest. He has no need to. He doesn't need to. He's been vindicated. And as Disney dissolves, it just vindicates him all the more. That's what it comes down to. But so let's talk. Let's look to the future. I mean, put that pirate crap aside. Let's
think about the future. The future.
That's Joker from Batman.
The Batman, yes, when he said to Eckert, right? Yeah, he was saying, think about the future.
Of course, which leads into the whole Prince song, The Future. I've seen the future, and it will be. Yeah.
I like it when he says that and he shoots somebody. That was before he's the Joker.
Think about the future. Bang, yeah. The future without you, exactly.
I miss gangster Joker. They haven't really gone. I mean, I don't know if if the gangster origin is still in play or they just think they don't even explain it anymore.
So
I miss the gangster origin. I liked him as a gangster.
The best Joker origin is, we know the Joker origin. We don't know who he was before he became the Red Hood. But he was somebody who, tried to commit a crime with the Red Hood, falls into
right,
so on and so forth.
Yeah.
They allude to it in Batman '89, but it appears that the person who became the Joker was coerced into it, whether he owed the mob some money,
right?
Or something like that.
That's
choice.
That's from the Alan Moore book.
That it actually comes from before that.
That came from before that. Okay, so
yeah. Alan Moore took it and expanded on it by putting in that he was a comedian and he had a wife who was pregnant and blah 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 blah. And as good and tragic as that story is, the fans are still like, we don't like having an origin story for the Joker. So what's great about it is the only things we know is because it's not, that Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, keeping in mind that is told from the point of view, and it's very clear if you're paying attention to the movie, it's told from the point of view of an unreliable narrator in the Joker. He's nuts, right? Yes. And he's telling his story, from his perspective, right? and he so you can't believe it. And the same, most fans believe the same is true for The Killing Joke, which is an excellent story, but don't take it at face value. Don't take it as canon, especially when you get to the end and there's a big fan theory that Batman kills the Joker at the end, for a number of reasons. That's a whole
because of the NES game. I've told you the NES game ending where he says, "Joker, you murdered my parents. Now you'll dance with the devil in the pale moonlight," and he punches him off the tower.
But it wasn't because of that. You're right.
No, I know. That's probably a Japanese interpretation.
That is a Japanese thing.
They probably got the script. Oh, yeah, just put that in there. He wants to read
it. Actually is. It actually is pretty clever. I mean, it is canon breaking for Batman to do that, but it is good storytelling. I could see that happening.
This is what I got on Batman the Animated Series because of the movie Batman Mask and the Phantasm. You find out, like, when Bruce Wayne's doing research on the mobsters being murderers, he looks at some low-level hood that he remembered seeing, and he says, "Why does that face look familiar?" And he draws a smile on it, and he realizes it's the Joker. Now, we don't know what his name is. We just know that he was some underling hired guy working for the mob. So it still leaves his origin mysterious, and he still is probably not well balanced anyway, even when he was working for the mob. But it was just interesting that he's still there, starting out as maybe working.
There was a comic book story, and I'm sure somebody in the chat knows it better than I do. Yes, actually, Thade is alluding to it. He says, "I prefer my and they also allude to it in Dark Knight." Which one was it? What's the second Batman movie? Dark Knight Rises? Dark Knight, whatever. The one with the Joker. Heath Ledger, right? Yes. Where he tells his origin story. You know how I got these scars, and he's got a different story every time he tells it. That's alluding to this comic book story that Thade is referring to, where he says, "I prefer my origin story to be multiple choice." And I'm like, yep, that's the Joker. It also references a great graphic novel called, I think it was called Arkham Asylum. Pretty sure.
Yes, I remember that graphic
novel.
And
it's kind of like Batman does Dante.
That was bizarre art in that book.
Oh, I loved it. See, that was the same kind of art style that was in at the time. I don't know. It could have been the same artist. Watercolors is what it was.
Yes.
It was the same artwork from that was in the style. I don't know if it was the same artist. Same style as the Hellraiser comics at the time. Loved it. Loved it. But very, very adult themes. But there's a lot of lore that comes out of that, and one of them was, the whole Joker. His analyst, and it wasn't Harley, it was somebody else, was saying there's a bunch of psychobabble that she puts out about it, but the bottom line is that he seems to reinterpret himself and reinvent himself every day. So his memories and his origin, brand new all the time. Sometimes he's a silly, funny, comical Joker. Sometimes he's a psychopath. And that was the comics' way of explaining the many different interpretations of Joker throughout the year, making them all canon. It was actually kind of brilliant when you think about it.
Yeah. I know they're treating the Penguin like a mobster. Did you see the trailer for the Penguin series coming out? It almost looks like a Sopranos style series. Except
I have no interest. I have no interest. That is,
I know you're not into that Batman universe, but I will say this: it looked good. Okay, I'll defend it. Okay,
that's fair.
In that way. Okay, and Colin Farrell, good actor. I'm watching him on a show called Sugar right now on Apple. He's actually a very underrated actor, actually. So yeah.
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you're here tonight, Thade. You're remembering the details. Arkham Asylum, a serious house on serious earth. That's right. Okay, yeah. Because
anyway,
take out the. Yeah, let's quit looking back. Let's look ahead.
Do you want to look? Well, my first, just so happens, this was random, but the first group is Warner Brothers Discovery. Yay!
They're making movies that
You're mixed on.
I'm very reticent. I just found out that they're doubling down on the gender swapping of Perry White. He's now, I guess from now on, he's going to be Perry Black forever.
Why don't they just make a Cat Grant to make Cat Grant more prominent in the movie and sell Perry White in it?
I'll tell you. If they were
they're race swapping Perry White?
Yeah, he's black. Yeah, they like doing that. They race swap Perry White. They race swap Jim Gordon. They do this all the time. Now, you mentioned Catherine Grant. I would have loved it if they would have race swapped her. That would have been a good thing. And if they went back to the original 80s Cat Grant, where she's the gossip columnist, you know who they could have cast her with? Maybe, what's her name? I mean, I don't think she's too old for the role.
Who?
Holly Berry.
Yeah, I could see her as a Cat Grant. Tracy Scoggins played her on Lois and Clark. Right?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, that was the Cat Grant of the comics.
Yes.
Not Callista Flockhart. No. Not that I had any problem with her as an actress. That portrayal of her, the Devil Wears Prada, screw that shit. No, that's not Cat Grant.
Anyway, so let's talk about upcoming Warner Brothers pictures. We just had Godzilla X Kong, so that's no longer upcoming. Next upcoming is Mad Max Furiosa.
Yep, that was one of the ones I had on the thumbnail. I actually had a lot of them on the thumbnail. If you guys
did, you see Fury Road when it came out?
It's on my list. I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
I enjoyed it. But,
I heard good things.
This will be a prequel, I guess, the Charlize Theron character when she was younger, and it's going to be played by, oh no, I hate it when this happens.
That's why you're my kind of people, Thade.
The witch actress.
Which witch?
From The Witch. She was also Princess Peach in the Mario Brothers movie. What the heck is
I have
name?
No idea. I'm not that good with these.
I mentioned her name 100 times on my own stream. I hate it when this happens. Someone in the chat help me. Anya Taylor-Joy, thank you, Big Al.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Kylie Minogue, because Retro Blessing's always mentioning her.
Kylie Minogue was Cammy in the Street Fighter movie. It was interesting casting. I think the director saw like a picture of her. I guess her kid was his kid was reading a magazine, and he saw her in the cover. Said that's Cammy, and he just got in touch with her. Said you want to be Cammy in the movie? Okay, that's how that happened.
Was that a canon film?
No, it wasn't. That was actually, I think that was a Universal's picture.
Okay.
I like that movie a lot more now than when it came out because I was mad that they weren't taking the subject matter seriously, but now I kind of like the campiness of it.
The reason it blends together for me, I just recently saw a documentary. I thought I was watching a documentary talking about Jean-Claude's daughter, but it focused more on him than her, and it was... all the movies he's been in, and some of those were canon films, not all of them, of course.
His daughter, Bianca, right?
Yeah.
I think that's her name. Yeah. I'm actually very angry. I don't know what's going on in Hollywood. I don't know why she hasn't been cast in something major. She can do the splits. She
I saw that.
She could be an action star in the same way Gina Carano could be. I don't know why we're not seeing her in more movies.
I saw her. She was doing they didn't show the whole segment, but I guess she did a TikTok or one of those short videos where her father had challenged her to that ice bucket challenge. And as she's talking about it, she's sitting there in the splits. And I said to Netter, I'm like, I don't know. That's not quite as impressive as her father doing it. When he did that, it was like, whoa.
True, but I don't know. She's also nice looking. I'd like to see her.
Oh, she absolutely. Well, he was too. He was a very good looking guy. Yeah. And her mother is also a real hottie. So, she comes from, really good stock there.
Very athletic family there. Like I said, she should be in. There's your Lara Croft. That she can put on a British accent, but don't get me started on Lara Croft. I'll be complaining about that on Sunday. Anyway, next up is New Line Cinema. This is both Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. June 7th, The Watchers.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Okay, let's move on.
We're going to be here all night if we keep having to look.
I know, right?
But if one sounds interesting, you want to know, we'll look it up, all right? August 2nd from Warner Brothers. Title Trap. T-R-A-P. Trap.
No idea.
Crickets. Okay, let's move on. September 6th from Warner Brothers. Beetlejuice 2.
It's called Beetlejuice.
Well,
I think that's quite clever.
This is from the home. Look, this is from the home theater forum. That's where I got this list. All right. Why is this a September release? Either release it in October for Halloween or release it during the summer. I don't understand this.
Actually, there is a certain logic to that. They're assuming it's going to have legs. They're assuming it's still going to be in the theaters in October. Okay. But they probably want it out, by because they probably don't want this to go into Christmas.
No, I guess not. October 4th, Joker, Filet à Deux. That's the Joker sequel. That's the musical with Lady Gaga. Well, we'll see. I don't know.
I have absolutely zero interest in all of these tangent Batmans. That and the Joker and the anything CW related.
Penguin series, you're just none of that. None of that. Okay.
And to be honest with you, I'm losing interest fast in the whole James Gunn universe too.
Okay. So here
we'll get there though.
We'll get there. December 13th, Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. I think I'm saying that right. Remember we talked about this a while back. This was going to be it's actually being done by a Japanese animation studio, but it's being based on, I guess, an element. Is this from the
Silmarillion?
Thank you. Or is it from something else? I don't know. But it's interesting they're doing this. I could see this as maybe a 90-minute picture. I know everybody, especially when I announced this back in the day, they were screaming it's going to be terrible. But keep in mind, this is not Amazon Lord of the Rings people working on this. This is the Peter Jackson crew. Now, Granted, Peter Jackson crew also gave us the Hobbit trilogy, which I'm not such a huge fan of, but we'll see. This is either going to be a hit or a miss. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
In order to get the Hobbit made, he was pushed by the studio to make 3 movies.
Well, not only that, but there was a big problem because he was given Guillermo del Toro was supposed to be making it, and they counted his pre-production time in the time they would have given Peter Jackson. So he really didn't have time to do prepping like he did for Lord of the Rings. So there was that. He mentions this in some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, like you see where things went wrong. And
I am not surprised, but there is, and I have it. Maybe we'll watch it one night. A fan edit of the 3 films that turns it into
one film.
Just one film straight, the Hobbit story.
All right.
As close to the book as possible.
That's all I wanted.
Good.
Could have been. It could have been one. The best they could have done was done 2 2-hour movies, maybe. But I thought they could have just done it as a single feature. And just
it should have only been a single feature. But that was, that's just corporate greed, right? They were like, well, we're going to do more. We need a whole new trilogy.
It could have been a contender.
It could have been, yeah, right. Right.
Okay, so
real quick, let me say hi to Clue Channel. How you doing, my friend? Beetlejuice had very little screen time in the first movie when you think about it. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. And Kirsten Dunst really put the dunce in her last name by complaining she didn't get paid as much as Tobey Maguire. Yeah, the virtue signaling. And then, did you see, what is this new movie she's in now?
Civil War.
Civil War?
Yes.
And everyone is saying, what the hell happened to her? She looks like she's 40-some years old.
She got older.
She's not that old. She's not that old. She's not as old as she looks in that movie.
I don't like to say this out loud, but I guess I'm going to have to, okay? Actresses...
I like how he lowers his voice to a whisper.
Yeah, like by being more quiet, less people.
Some people, and I'm not just talking about women, people in general, men too, some age better than others.
That's true.
I think sometimes when you have some of these actresses complaining that they're not being offered the romantic parts because they're older or they're middle-aged, I think that may not be the reason, because I think Charlize Theron would still get offered lead roles because she's aged a lot better than some of these other actresses.
Charlize Theron did something... She has managed her career very intelligently. What was that movie she was in? Was it Monster or something like that?
I remember that. Yeah, they did a makeup job on her to make her look a little rough.
Where she just did not look like herself.
Nope.
And the fact that you could take such a beautiful woman and uglify her for a role, basically what she was saying is, look, I'm a good actress. Take me seriously. You know, that's fine that you find me attractive, put me in attractive roles, but take me seriously. And I think people really have, at least in part because of that, you know?
I mean, let's be honest here. Sean Connery aged up back in the day.
Yeah, but then you look at, like, Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And, of course, speaking of Raquel Welch and gorgeous women, hello, Maria Telly.
There you go. Hey, Maria. Well, go
Okay, so apparently they made her look older for the role. I don't know.
Oh, she is 41. They made her look older and more haggard for the role in Civil War. Yeah, that...
I guess that's...
You know what? My feeling is, if you have to do that, hire an older actress. Just saying. Because that is probably the biggest problem that you hear from actresses in Hollywood. Oh, you know, they don't... there's no place for older women in Hollywood, except for very, very specific circumstances. Look, you want to, you know, claim diversity and all that crap? Then do it. Don't hagger someone and age her up. Cast the actress that's right for the role.
Okay.
It's
Just
like
saying.
I saw a blurb for a movie. I don't know what the movie's called, but apparently it's like Society. Back like... From the way they were dressed, it looked like it might have been late 1800s or so. And it was like the mistress of the house and her best friend talking, and the maid walks in, and they're looking at her, and they're like, how would you like to go to a party? And she's like, me? And they dress her up in full, you know, regalia. They fix her hair, they do her makeup, and they take her to a ball. And she fools everyone into thinking that she is highbrow.
If anyone knows what movie Netter's talking about, please let me know, because this is starting to sound really interesting.
Yeah, the maid is elderly. She's got to be like 60, 70 years old. She's elderly. She might even be, I would say close to like in the 70s from the way she's more, for lack of better phrasing, wrinkled. And she pulls it off where someone looks at her and goes, you look familiar. Have we met before? She goes, only in your dreams.
Fade makes an excellent point. The way they treat actresses in Hollywood is fucking atrocious. He's absolutely right, but I'll tell you something else. What makes it worse is how hypocritical they are about it. The way they virtue signal with the DEI bullcrap and the gender and race swapping. It's like, you know what? You're all assholes. You haven't improved anything.
Anyway, I have some more movies to list.
Okay.
These are to be determined for 2024, so maybe they'll be pushed off till next year. New Line Cinema, a movie called Weapons.
Don't know.
I predict either Gerard Butler or Jason Statham. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what the movie's about. New Line Cinema, Mortal Kombat 2. So I guess they're doing the follow-up to that Mortal Kombat movie they did years back. Which I never got around to seeing. That was during the pandemic when they were doing the day and date stuff. But
exactly.
I never got around to watching it. I'm not necessarily the biggest Mortal Kombat fan anyway. I liked the original movie when it came out. That was when Mortal Kombat fever was pretty high up back in the day.
I used to play that way too much in college.
Then we got the follow-up Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which I saw in the theaters, and it was one of the worst things I'd ever seen in a theater.
It's true. Fade, you know what? We need to get you on Netter's Network on Thursday Things. I think we could have a great conversation. If you haven't reached out to her yet, shoot her a note on Twitter, because I'd love to just have a chat with you about your channel and, you know, just your background. And
now, right now I'm looking at mid-June, the second week and third week of June.
So you got time, but you know, let's try to make that happen. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Here we go. Wait a minute. Weapons.
I like this. Nate says that Maria is the Raquel Welch of YouTube. I can get behind that, sure. And the Bosco scenario. I am surrounded by assholes. I'm glad you said that, that you're quoting Spaceballs. And not just, hey, you guys are all assholes.
There's a thing, I forget where I saw it, but the saying was, assholes unite and form a tunnel.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Weapons.
I'm sorry. We're gonna, you're gonna get interrupted a lot, Boomer.
My
I'm all
goodness.
over the place tonight.
Weapons is an interrelated multi-star horror epic about the disappearance of high school students in a small town. It will star Pedro Pascal. From the director of Barbarian.
I don't even know.
It's a horror movie. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I saw Barbarian. I think I liked it more than Deleted Scenes did, but it had its
They're all quoting Spaceballs.
Let's see here. We also have Juror number 2. That's going to be Clint Eastwood's final directed movie, which is about a jury on a murder trial, and one of the jurors is the person that committed the murder.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good one.
Man, they used to make movies like that, and we haven't seen anything like that in a long time.
So is it set in Chicago?
Maybe, who knows?
Right, exactly. Or New York, modern day New York.
Oh, don't get me started there.
Mm-hmm.
Salem's Lot. I guess they're redoing another Stephen King movie.
Is this the second or the third version of Salem's Lot?
Well, I think the first two were always made for TV. There was never a theatrical feature.
Okay.
I know Toby Hooper did the original made for TV one, which I think was the guy that did Chainsaw Massacre. I believe he's the one that made it. Yep. And let's see, New Line Cinema has another movie out called Companion. Does that ring a bell to you? Let me see if I'll find a blurb real quick on that. It's another thriller from the Barbarian producer. It looks like, okay, so it's another... another
trivia question. Nate, do you
Sci-fi thriller. Okay.
Do you know who it is that delivers that line? We ain't found shit.
Okay.
Little trivia. Who is the actor that delivers that line in Spaceballs? I want to see the first person say. I don't want to ruin it. I want to... If Evelyn Hampton's here, I'll bet she would know it. She went from blow to suck. Yes, exactly. Yeah, they pushed back Salem's Lot a number of times. Yep. I the way it's showing up on my screen, Deleted Scenes got it first, but you guys are all saying it. Tim Russ, who of course played Tuvok in Star Trek Voyager.
Yes. All right. You want the next one? That's to be determined. And
Evelyn was here, and she let everyone else answer. She's classy. Everyone, Tim Russ. And Evelyn's just... Yes, what's the next one, Agent Boomer?
It's called Fix from New Line Cinema Animation. Apparently, this is from Sony Pictures Animation, New Line Cinema, along with visionary director Jendi Tartakovsky. Comes Fix, an adult animated comedy about Bull, an average all-around good dog who discovers he's going to be neutered in the morning.
Hey.
That could be good, actually. That'll be a hit or a miss, but that's an interesting concept.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe he can get behind it. Maybe it's how he identifies. Maybe this is affirming for him.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but that's all for 2024. Anything out here that... you think might be good? Beetlejuice 2, maybe? Huh?
I gotta be honest with you. I really, really am looking forward to Beetlejuice 2. That is true.
Okay.
So I think, did you miss some? I think we got some more for 2000.
We have more for 2025. You want me to get to those?
Well, wait a minute. What about Twisters?
That's not Warner Brothers. We're going studio by studio. What are you doing?
Warner Brothers. Okay, I'm sorry.
We're gonna go to we'll get to Universal at the end, please.
Oh, at the end. You put it at the end. Okay.
No, I didn't put it at the end. It's just how these things combine the articles. Warner Brothers first. Let's just get through this. I'll just start running them off. Okay. Minecraft, I assume based on the popular computer and video game, right? Okay,
Sounds
that
like
comes
it.
out April 4th of 2025.
Is this an animated feature or a live action?
I have no idea. That's a good question, actually.
I'll tell you what, that would be good animated, right?
Oh,
I can see that if they do it with all the blockies and the stuff. Oh, that would be good.
Ryan Reynolds gets stuck in Minecraft or something. I don't know. Okay. July 11th, Superman Legacy, the big one, you know?
I'm losing interest fast. Like I said, they gender swap Perry, or not gender swap. They race swap Perry White. I'm sick of it. I really am. You know why? And I'll tell you something else. Why doesn't John Henry Irons get any love? You want to do the representation? I want to see John Henry Irons, right? Well, you focus so much on the Marvel guys. Focus so much on Iron Man. John Henry Irons is the Iron Man of the DC universe.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling sometimes the writers don't realize there are these characters that exist that are already representing different groups, and they just don't think of them. That's my only thing about this.
Look, Shaquille O'Neal did. It was Shaquille O'Neal, wasn't it? Who did Steel?
Yes,
back
he was
in the
Steel,
80s.
Yes,
it was a terrible movie. Movie. But
yes.
at least the character got some love, for crying out loud. And they couldn't even reference anything related to anything else in the DC universe. They couldn't mention Superman. He wasn't allowed to have the S on his chest. Nothing. Because...
ridiculous.
But it's like, you know what? It was still a fairly good story. It stood on its own. These characters exist, and they need to be honored.
Michael Dorn played him on Superman the Animated Series. He did his voice.
I could see Michael Dorn doing that voice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what? I got the Blu-ray of the collection. I really need to watch that.
You got to start with Batman first.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you the order to watch everything. You don't have to. I mean, if you catch things out of order, it's not that big a deal. But I can always tell you the proper order if you'd like.
There's a Canadian The Companion movie from the 90s about a woman and her android companion, and she messes up the programming.
I don't know. That's weird.
That sounds interesting. That sounds really, really interesting.
Probably more interesting than anything I'm about to announce. Anyway, DC. Okay. DC Studios again, October 3rd. The Batman Part 2.
Nate, I maybe I'm looking at that movie through rose-colored glasses because I wanted to love it so much, and there are some good things about it. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Let Boomer finish.
Yeah, we got 3 other studios to get through. We're only we got okay. We can always carry this over.
Do you have to work tomorrow? Are you in a hurry?
I do not, so we can carry on.
If we go into extra innings, we could always jump over to Rumble. And
I don't know how I feel about Warner Brothers. I feel Warner Brothers is a mixed bag. I do like to attack them because I expect them to be much better than they are based on their legacy. Back in the 90s, they were just kicking ass left and right, and now it's just, I don't know.
Hey, Nutter, can you look up this movie, the Companion with Bruce Greenwood from the 90s? I'd kind of be interested in checking that out.
Okay. The Batman Part 2.
Greenwood.
Okay. The Bruce Greenwood played the voice of Batman in the Batman Under the Red Hood. Remember that? The animated movie? Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Anyway, The Batman Part 2 comes out October 3rd, 2025.
The Batman Part 2.
The Robert Pattinson.
Oh, for fuck's sake. They're still doing that crap? You know what?
They're under contract.
It's contract shit, yeah.
I think they're contracted for 3 movies. I think it's a trilogy. And
I will not see it. I didn't see the first one. I will not see this one either.
All right. Well, we'll keep moving on then. December 19th, Warner Brothers Discovery. That's interesting. Untitled film. That's a lot of mystery to that one. Let's move on to the to be determined 2025 movies. Do you have someone in the chat you have to make a thing about? What's going on? I'm looking at my list. I can't see the chat. Let me get you the next one. The next what is this? Oh yeah, the Android series takes place in the Batman Beyond series. Oh,
interesting.
That was the Zeta thing. Don't get me started on Batman Beyond right now.
I've been watching some videos recently about Batman Brave and the Bold, the cartoon series.
Love it. Love that cartoon.
And I guess there was one that like takes Batman and tells the story from like origin to, you know, past the Beyond era, and they do it a little differently.
Possibly, I'm trying to remember because I don't think I've seen every single episode. I need to sit down and just watch.
Like he marries Selena Kyle.
Yes.
And instead of having Helena, they have Damian.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to become Robin, and then Bruce and Selena get killed.
Yeah, here's what happened. He had stopped being Batman. Somebody else took over as Batman. Guess
it
who
was?
It was
Dick Grayson,
right? Yes. And
Yeah.
then Damian, you know, to get revenge on the guy that took out his parents, he's wanting to become Robin to work with the new Batman. Of course, Robin, you know, Dick Grayson, and the idea is it would keep continuing. Yeah. And then at the end of the episode, I hope this isn't a spoiler, turns out this is all a fantasy of Alfred. I don't know why his fantasy involves Bruce Wayne getting killed, but I think Alfred wants
it doesn't really
Bruce
matter
Wayne
because
getting married and having a legacy. That's what he wants.
You kind of know that's it is a fan fiction-y type story.
It is, and it feels like basically it's revealed it is a fan fiction at the end of the episode.
I don't think that's a spoiler because I think anyone watching that knows that's what that is.
I love that cartoon. I made a point that Batman the Animated Series took all the best stuff from the Batman comics and kind of combined it into a series, and Batman the Brave and the Bold got everything left over, and they made a series out of that. Like all the goofy stuff from the Silver Age, all in there. It's ridiculous.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Nate, because there is a scene in that cartoon where he and Robin are fighting bad guys, and they do it in the style of the opening of the Adam West Batman.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of nods to the Adam West
instead
Batman.
Of the characters that they, you know, it's not one-to-one. It's villains that were appearing in the comics at the time.
Right. Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, they're probably both Brave and the Bold and the Adam West show are probably pulling from some similar material. And Adam West, I think he did a voiceover in one of the episodes. He ended up on all the Batman cartoons. He would do a voiceover of one of the other characters as a nod, you know.
Absolutely.
Which I thought was actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Nerdporial Lifeform, welcome. He says, sup, Troy and panel. We are looking ahead to the movies of 24. They're scheduled for
20. We're on 25. We're on 25 now for Warner Brothers.
Well, we're going to have to back up because we're going by studio. But Nerdporial Lifeform, have we had you on Thursday Things with Netter?
I don't believe so.
I would love to be able to sit down and chit-chat with you and help my audience here get to know you. So you... please reach out to Netter on the Twitter X Twitter, whatever it is these days. And
I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, well, it's fun to play around with the whole X thing.
Twitter X?
Rebel Moon Part 2 is the greatest film ever. Yeah.
So
the biggest problem with Warner Brothers when it comes to the DC Comics properties is that when it comes to their live action movies, they are horribly hit or miss. Yeah, and mostly miss. They have been going downhill over the years. And that's why I have almost no faith in the James Gunn verse. I really don't.
So you'll be excited for this to be determined in a minute. Oh, you got to read the last one. Sorry. Okay.
Well, maybe this is something you guys could like pre-record another night or something like that. That might be not a bad thing to do, if you're open to that. You guys talk about it because I'm having enough time, focusing.
Yeah, I got two
on
other
what
people I got
aged boomers talking about now.
Listen to me.
What company are we on again?
We're on Warner Brothers Discovery.
Warner Brothers.
This includes
We're
New
still
Line.
on the Warner Brothers.
We're
and the
still
Warner
on this
Sister
one. We
Dot.
got 3 other studios to get through.
It's time for Animaniacs.
Stop.
Anyway.
Okay.
To be determined. This is in the works. I Am Legend 2. Remember the Will Smith I Am Legend movie?
Yes, I do. Why would there be a sequel?
I don't know.
What story could they possibly...
I don't know.
Now it's told from the point of view of the monsters?
Or the dog.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Maybe they could just remake it and do it properly.
No, the dog dies at the end.
That's a great book, by the way. I did read I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. That is
Yes!
a wonderful book. You know, Rob Zombie apparently reads it once a year, which I thought was interesting. It's a very brisk read. Those of you wanting a good little horror movie, you want to see the inspiration for basically a lot of our zombie apocalypse movies.
Yep.
In the book, it's vampires, but yeah, it's
well.
You'll
What's
like
interesting is it really does blur the line between vampires and zombies. And I've been talking with some friends of mine in the D&D community and saying, you know, what if zombies are just a failed mutation of vampires?
Remember, I don't know if you remember that. I think we talked about this on Good Old Days. Remember the Dracula to the series? Mm-hmm. And there was an episode where Alexander Lucard got very angry at some vampire running about, and he said, "This is what happens when you have vampires turning anybody into a vampire. You get impurities." And he had to kill this once because it was basically, I don't want to say it was like a zombie vampire, but it was like a dumb vampire, like not good stock, and he was getting annoyed at that. He's thinking vampires to be more regal. And I don't know if it was Nosferatu, because apparently in Dracula the series Nosferatu was a different vampire, not Dracula. Right. Maybe he was the one doing it, or it might have been somebody else. But I know that's I think that's what happened. He was having a feud with Nosferatu.
It's very clear that ever since Vampire the Masquerade came about, it has really started to lend something to the lore of modern vampire stories. You kind of saw it. Well, obviously you saw it in the Kindred. That series that unfortunately did not last very long because the main actor was killed in a motorcycle accident. But I love that whole idea of you can only create another vampire with the permission of the local prince, and you are sworn by blood to maintain the masquerade, which means you never let anyone know that vampires are real. You always play into the whole, lore of it being fiction in the movies and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just thought when I first read the rules for Vampire the Masquerade, I was like, this is a great structure for vampires. You know, anyone could use this and make a good vampire story.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. You're right. Count Orlok was the vampire in Nosferatu. Yeah. I forgot. Because I remember they were being sued by the
We'll be talking more about Nosferatu a little bit later.
But I don't know if I have that movie on the list, but we can talk about it.
But they're remaking that as well.
It looks interesting what they're doing. It seems
Willem
to be
Dafoe,
getting
as I understand. I Am Legend, Evelyn is absolutely right. I Am Legend made into Omega Man with Charlton Heston.
I have the Omega Man on a Charlton Heston set. I hope that survived the flood. I don't remember now. But I had like a 4-disc. It came with Soylent Green. It was all Charlton Heston, like disaster, like post-apocalyptic movies. And one was Soylent Green. One was
Planet of the Apes.
One was not Planet of the Apes, because that's in a separate set. But it had Soylent Green. It had Omega Man. It had a couple others in there too.
Wasn't there a movie with Vincent Price where he?
Yeah, I think someone mentioned it. Last Man on Earth. That's a good adaptation, actually.
It's kind of that same story, yeah.
Did you know that there was going to be a Hammer version of I Am Legend? And I think it might have had Peter Cushing in it.
That would have been good.
And Richard Matheson wrote the screenplay for that one too, but they just never got around to making it. It was it fell through, but they were planning on it.
Some of the what could have beens, you know.
Yeah, but in fact, I always got the impression that it took place in England, didn't it? I don't remember now from the original book. I know the main guy's name was Neville, and I always think Neville's an English name. But anyway, William Dafoe was great in Shadow of the Vampire. That was about the making of Nosferatu. I remember that.
You know, I have that movie and have not watched it yet.
You'll like it.
My understanding is it's a fictionalized version of the making of Nosferatu.
Yes, you'll like it.
Because the premise is that, what's his name? Shrek. The actor that played the vampire.
Max Shrek.
Max Shrek, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, same name as the character from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
That Max Shrek was like a real vampire, and they convinced him to play the role. He's like, okay.
Why was Christopher Walken never cast as a vampire?
Ooh, right.
That was a missed opportunity.
Right. That would be good.
Hellsing Ultimate Series, vampires can turn people into ghouls. Yeah, and it's similar, I think, to Blade, too.
Wait a minute.
Blade.
Nate, God bless you for bringing that song up because I love that song, but what made you think of that? What did we say? Could have been so beautiful, could have been so right, could have been my lover on a cold and lonely night. Yeah, oh gosh, that was that Tiffany? Pretty sure that was Tiffany.
Someone in the chat had made reference to Richard Matheson doing a Star Trek episode. It was probably the same Richard Matheson, yeah. He did a lot of writing back then, including Hollywood. All right.
And Star Trek used to be written by a whole host of
professional
writers,
science fiction writers. Yes,
that is why the original Star Trek animated series was so good.
Yes, that's like
I looked at that,
People,
I just felt like the animated series was, instead of 1 hour episodes, they were half-hour episodes, and they were doing things in the episodes that they couldn't do in live action. Where they would have like aliens with 3 legs and 3 arms, or aliens that had wings and could fly and stuff like that. They didn't have the budget for that kind of stuff back then, but animation, it worked. Maress, the lion chick with digigrade legs, you couldn't do that back then. Nowadays they just do it with CG or something like that.
There you go.
Actually, if you were to cast the right girl to play Maress, you wouldn't need to do CG. You just put her in digigrade stilts.
Yeah.
She'd have to have really strong ankle and calf muscles, but they could do it.
Maud versus Maud to be announced or determined the date. That is a spy thriller with Halle Berry and Angelina Jolie. I assume they're both named Maud. I don't know.
Okay, because I was gonna say, what are they gonna do, like a CG B. Arthur movie? I don't know.
That'd be funny. They both played spies in other movies, so I mean, I could see it working. We'll see. Maybe it'll be fun. Make it fun, please. Okay, Heat 2.
Heat 2.
Is this a sequel to Michael Mann's Heat?
Could be.
Okay. Untitled Ocean's 11 movie.
Let that one go already. You've killed that franchise.
Well, they killed
it never should have been
8.
a franchise.
They killed it with Ocean's 8. I like the other 3. I know you probably are a stickler for the original, but they were fun. You could watch them and they were heist movies. I thought they were fun.
I do like the concept of the heist movie, and honestly, the first remake was okay, but no, let it go.
What I did appreciate about the follow-ups was you had characters introduced, like one movie's villain later on became like their ally in a later movie, which I thought was funny, and like a recurring villain. I think a French thief guy shows up again in another movie at the end. Like, you keep having people popping up from the other movies. So, but yeah, I think at this point, give up the ghost.
There is and I don't promote this near as much as I should. Down in the description below, I talk about some of my MeWe groups. I don't do Facebook. I do MeWe. And I've got one, Fixing the Universal Monsters universe, shared universe or whatever, something like that. And we had a discussion in there about the various zombie subgenres, right? Because Universal did... Was it Universal? Or was it another company that did like the White Zombie or something like that? But there was a couple of zombie movies before Romero came on the scene who did. They did. I don't know what you'd call them, but like the Haitian zombies or the. In Dungeons and Dragons,
zombies.
they call them the Juju zombies in Dungeons and Dragons. This idea, actually, a great movie that did it really well was
Serpent and the Rainbow.
Thank you. Yes, you knew
Love
exactly
that
what I was
movie.
thinking of.
I
want to hear you scream.
Yeah, that was a terrifying scene. That whole movie. I will say this. That's a movie where they actually. I'll say this. They did do a race swap in the main role. I did like Bill Pullman in that, but that was originally supposed to be a black American going to Haiti rather than it being a white American.
Oh,
the original.
See,
book.
that would have actually made it better.
It would have made it better, and I'm not picking on Bill Pullman at the time or anything.
No,
but I think
not at
now,
all.
that,
But this
they
is
remake that. They could, because this would be in my opinion, this is like an American going back to Europe, and then 'cause a lot of us have European ancestry, but we're no longer European. It'd be like someone from maybe it could even
from
be
Haiti
someone Haitian,
coming to the
maybe
US,
someone from Haitian descent
third
who lived in the United
generation or
States, and
something,
then coming to Haiti and being the fish out of water and dealing with all the stuff. That
you know what? See, this is why I really don't like race swapping of any kind.
Exactly.
Any kind.
I'll say this though. The story behind the making of that movie is terrifying. The Serpent and the Rainbow. We'll talk about this another night, maybe in October or something.
Was it filmed on location in Haiti?
It was, and then they had to switch the location to Dominican Republic because things got a little crazy over there.
I would imagine so. You know what? Let's talk about that sometime. Maybe I'll do a Monday night at the movies. We'll watch Serpent and the Rainbow. And then the following Friday, we could do a talk about the behind the scenes and stuff. You can tell us all about it. But then Netter and I can tell you about our experience in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. We'll save it for another night. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
You want to get me angry, don't you?
No, we'll save it for another night. Absolutely. Real quick, I want to say hi to Sashi.
Hi, Sashi.
Looking forward to anything from Hollywood and not looking forward to anything of 2024. Yeah, I don't think we've yet gotten to a movie that we were like, we're real excited about. I might be convinced to be cautiously optimistic. Yeah, that's kind of where we're all at on all of this. Boomer, did we lose you? Because I'm not hearing you. Boomer.
Did you step away to the potty?
Because I see you, and you are not muted, and you just fell out. That's fine. Give me a chance.
He gave up on you because you keep talking.
Yeah, he said, "Fuck that Troy guy. He's an asshole. Tired of being his designated driver. He's an obstinate pain in the ass drunk." And he's like. And he's sitting here now monologuing, just freaking bring me in here already.
It's okay. You know what? I must have trailed off, but we'll save that discussion for another night anyway.
Dead Man Walking. We hung out with him last night on Netter's. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You saw that. Yeah.
I was there for a bit.
Good man. Thanks for being here.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Where are we still Warner Brothers?
Next up, the Cat in the Hat Warner Brothers Pictures animation. So I guess they're doing an animated Cat in the Hat movie?
Why? I understand when they made the live action version of it.
Yeah.
Why make another cartoon?
I don't know. They're doing, I guess it's going to be CG. I don't know. They're just doing it and just let's move on.
All right.
Hot Wheels, the movie.
I heard about this, and I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to say I'm pessimistic or optimistic, but I am intrigued. I want to know what the plan is for this.
Meet the Flintstones, another animated movie.
That could be good.
Maybe. I mean, if they do it right, yeah, it could. Maybe don't thumb it up. Make it a good movie.
Warner Brothers. Wait, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Animation.
Do they own Hanna-Barbera now?
Yeah, they've owned Hanna-Barbera. This is what I was talking about with Warner Brothers. They own Hanna-Barbera. You own the Scooby-Doo license, and they allowed this Velma thing to come out. And from what I heard, Velma wasn't even supposed to be tied to a Scooby-Doo when they originally envisioned it. I think that the people who were in charge of Warner Brothers forced that on them, and it's like, what are you doing? This is a valuable property. It's a kid's property, a family property. What are you doing?
Well, you know what, Dead Man Walking? Yes. Because Warner Brothers has an agreement with, what company is that? Is that Mattel?
I guess.
That does Barbie.
Yeah, that's probably why. It's probably tied to
Hot
the Barbie
Wheels
thing. Yeah.
And we'll get into some other things that they're doing, but Mattel wants to turn everything they got into a movie. And look, I understand it. It makes sense. They want to sell toys. The better way to do it would have been like a streaming show on whatever Warner Brothers streaming is, and do it in the style of like 80s cartoons. That would have been the way to go. It's called Fast and Furious. Yes. I've, in fact, yeah. We'll get to that.
Oh.
There's a joke I want to make about that, but we got another movie coming up where I'll bring that up.
Okay. All right. So next up, you want to know next up?
Mm-hmm.
Or you? The Conjuring 4: Last Rites.
The Conjuring. You know what? I'm so behind on those movies, but yeah, bring it on. I'll get caught up eventually.
I don't know. Unless James Wan is behind the helm, I don't know if I care. I was not as big a fan of Conjuring 3. I'll admit that there were things I liked about it, but then some of the stuff was a little too over the top. I thought that the original director of the first two, he set the right tone with those first two movies, and I thought they went a little more over the top with part 3, but we'll see if they
Matthew Flynn, haven't seen you in a while. So glad you're here, my friend. The Gladiator of Kaon. Make sure, if you are at all a Transformers fan, you need to not only be following his channel, but he's got a group on MeWe. You should definitely check out. But he's saying that there was a Hot Wheels-based TV movies and TV shows before. I did not know this. I will have to look into that, my friend. Thanks for bringing it to my attention.
And I don't know if you said hello to Hungry for the True Doctor Who, but how you doing, sweet? Welcome.
Yes,
We're
love
all hungry
that.
for the true Doctor
Oh,
Who.
we all are. Oh, dude. Yeah, Shrek played Orlok. Yes. Okay.
By the way, Davies is leaning hard into the Timeless Child storyline, just so you know.
Netter, make sure that you remind me later to follow Hungry for the True Doctor Who when I sober up. And gosh, we got to get together with you, buddy. Something tells me we got a lot to talk about. We are big time old school Doctor Who fans. I've even got one of my earliest videos on this channel. I'm showing off my very, very complete Doctor Who DVD collection, many of which are homemade DVDs from the loose cannon restorations. I have as complete a Doctor Who collection as you can get, up through Capaldi anyway. Yeah. As long as it was Doctor Who, I have them all on DVD. Anything after it became Dr. Her and Dr. Y,
oh man,
I have not even seen. So,
well, Doctor plural, because there are two of them now, because David Tennant's still running around apparently, which makes no sense. But who cares? We just make up the rules as we go along now. Let's not get started.
There's actually two different David Tennants out there running around. One in
right, because there's the one in the alternate universe, the clone. Which I thought why didn't they just bring him back?
I've lost so much respect for David Tennant.
They could have just brought him back.
Oh, yeah. Take care, my friend. No, don't be sorry. Thanks for stopping by. We always appreciate seeing you. And always remember, these live streams, I don't take them down, so you can always VOD them later if you want to.
Are you ready for the final 5 for 2026 that we know about?
For Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Authority, DC Studios.
Fuck that shit.
Okay. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, DC Studios.
That's another one of those ones I'm not sure about.
Okay. These are 2 animated features, Bad Fairies and The Lunar Chronicles. And I didn't know what these are, so I actually just looked up an article, and let me read you a synopsis of Bad Fairies. I guess this is a British studio they hired, Locksmith. The first of Locksmith's 2 properties being developed under a new deal is Bad Fairies, a subversive musical comedy set in contemporary London. It focuses on a badass gang of fairies who break every rule in the book. Deborah Frances White, creator and host of podcast The Guilty Feminist, is writing the screenplay. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it's intriguing anyway. I'd be willing.
I don't know about this Guilty Feminist thing. I don't know anything about that podcast, so we'll see.
I'd be willing to check it out. John says I actually made it through the first season of Dr. Her. I just had to finally stop watching. Look, I got as far as The Timeless Child, and I said, fuck this. This is not Doctor Who. This is Dr. Deconstruction. This is undo kill the past if you have to bullshit. I said, I'm out. I'm done. My Doctor Who, look, I said this about Star Trek as well. Why is canon important? Look, I spent going on 50 years with this stuff. I bought the chronologies and the encyclopedias and all this kind of stuff. For you to come and tell me all that canon's bullshit now? Fuck you. I'm done.
Well, remember when, through the 50th anniversary special, how Moffat had figured out a way for the Doctor to save Gallifrey and the Gallifreyans?
Yeah.
What was the point of that if they were just going to kill them all off again? And now they're all evil, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes me realize that's probably why Davies is leaning into this, because he probably never liked the Time Lords. That's why he killed them off to begin with. Anyway, let's move on. The second project is The Lunar Chronicles, based on Marissa Meyer's best-selling novels, a sci-fi twist on Grimm's fairy tales. The feature project centers on 4 young women who launch a rebellion against the tyrannical queen of the moon and soar through the stars while fighting to take charge of their own destinies. I have no idea. So, okay. Maybe it's popular with the kids. I don't know.
You know what? Look, we all know YouTube there's no understanding it. So when you subscribe to somebody, I don't know what you have to do to be able to. I sometimes see when someone subscribes to me, sometimes I don't. I'll see that I got suddenly, 10, 15, 20 more subscribers, and like 2 of them, I can find out who they are by name and subscribe back to them. It makes no damn sense. It really doesn't. But you know what? It's kind of cool to see a comment like this. Netter, I subbed to you 60 minutes ago. Thank you, my friend. You are good people.
Guess what the
Look,
final...
that woman sitting across from me, well, from your point of view, she's sitting over there. She's the most important person in the world to me. You encourage her, you encourage me. Just saying. Just saying.
It's raising the... Oh. Yeah.
And my first Doctor was...
Many Americans, too. He was their
first...
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I have no point of reference to guess, but I'm gonna suspect I might be significantly older than you are, Thade. I don't know if that's true, but it may be. And here in the United States, Doctor Who, we got very sporadically, and also for the most part, at least early on, very late after you all had seen it. So for most of us, we were seeing Tom Baker first, and not only were we seeing Tom Baker first, but it was a number of years past when you had it already. And then they got, the spatterings of the first and second Doctor that were available, and all of the third Doctor. So we saw them very much out of order. And by the time they got to the fifth and sixth Doctors, wait a minute. Sixth Doctor was Colin Baker. Seventh Baker was Sylvester McCoy. Definitely by the time we got to Sylvester McCoy, we were less than a year out from where you guys were.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of us dropped off after Colin Baker. Netter definitely did, and I think I did too. It was like when you regenerate and try to kill your companion, and he was kind of an ass.
Yeah.
You know.
I watched the regeneration episode when he went from old doctor to, Colin Baker. And I watched one episode after that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is such an ass.
So condescending.
I don't want anything to do with him, and I stopped watching Doctor Who.
Can I will defend, because I did like the Colin Baker era, but it did turn a lot of people off. The impression I got from that is that the Doctor went through a very rough regeneration, like that thing that happened to Peter Davison at the end. That could have actually just killed him flat out, and he might not have regenerated. He thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
And I think when he regenerated, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, even in England when that premiered. And that was the final episode of that season. When he came back, him and Perry got along better as the series went on, but it was kind of funny because she was kind of snarky and kind of annoying with Peter Davison. So it was, I guess they were trying to torture her character a little bit because of that, but I can see why that turned you off. Yes. But
it's funny because we met him at a convention and he goes, I absolutely hated.
He didn't like a lot of those decisions.
I'll be honest with you, meeting him and talking to him about it, he was
actually a really nice guy.
Not only was he a nice guy, but he was kind of really apologetic. He's like, look, from the point of view of a fan, I get it.
They gave him shit strips.
He's but like, he had a character arc, and there would have been redemption for him if we'd have stuck with it. But the fact is, they implemented it badly. Yeah. That was the problem, and that's even kind of what he said, to be honest with you. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Perry was the reason to watch, and look. She was poor with her accent, and that's perfectly fine with me because that's not why you were watching her.
Her American accent kept changing depending on the episode. It was different regions.
It was like I just it's like, well, God bless her. She tried. She really I would like to think, I would like to hope that British viewers do the same with Dick Van Dyke on Mary Poppins, oh, God love you for trying, Yeah.
Well, that just shows you, Hungry for Doctor. Yeah, Baker just had it going from the get-go. He was the Doctor in the very first episode. I did like the Davidson era, but especially, and some people don't like this episode, but I loved Earthshock. I thought how they reintroduced the Cybermen was brilliant. The Cybermen was brilliant back then.
Yeah, we really need to get together and talk Hungry for the True Doctor Who. I could actually see doing a whole stream based on this. Yeah, let's not go any further with this because.
Well, you want to know the final movie on the Warner Brothers thing that we know of? Final Destination 6.
I'm sorry, I just lost my earbud, so I'm.
Oh, you don't even know it? Okay, I'm going to repeat.
No, yeah, you're going to have to.
Final Destination 6.
I am so behind on my Final Destination movies. I have them all.
I like them.
I have not seen 4 and 5
they're
yet.
They're uncomfortable to watch, but I do enjoy them. And I think
I'll tell you what, they are uncomfortable but fascinating. The way people die in those movies.
Is Tony Todd in all of them? I know he was in the first few. He's the Undertaker they talked to, remember?
If he's not, he should be.
I think he was the Undertaker.
He's implied to be the conduit for death.
He knows about death. I'll put it that way. He knows, like when they go asking, it says, no, death's going to find you. Period.
Yeah.
That you interfered with what was supposed to happen. Death will. So that's it for Warner Brothers. No mention of Bullet or the Wizard of Oz. Don't even tell me they're talking about redoing the Wizard of Oz, but there's no two. So we're going to move on to our next studio. And let me keep going. Like I said, this was loosey-goosey, so I'm going. Okay, here we go. Your favorite studio we're going to do, huh?
Which one? Paramount?
Disney!
Oh, fuck Disney. I don't even think about Disney anymore.
We're doing it. This encompasses MCU, Star Wars. Notice how it's Star Wars and not Lucasfilm, because Lucasfilm doesn't have anything else because they killed off Indiana Jones, or they killed off that franchise. We're good.
Yeah.
So it's Pixar, MCU, Star Wars, 20th Century Studios, and the famed animated studio. Disney has several releases. We got a funny story about Shrek coming up. I heard it on WW Pro, and I had to share it. I'll share it with you guys also. That Shrek 2 basically came out and did so much better than Disney's re-releases of Soul and Turning Red. We'll talk about that Sunday. Inside Out. Okay, so it goes in categories here. So we're going to go, I guess, with the regular Disney movies. Inside Out 2, June 14th, 2024.
Wait, what is that again?
Inside Out 2.
Oh, gosh. No. See, I liked the first movie. I did.
Okay.
I really did. But I've seen some promos for that, and to be honest with you, that looks like it's going to be a woke BS fest. Really
Probably.
does.
I have a suspicion it's going to be probably about coming out or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. And if that's what it is, I think parents are going to flip the fuck
But we don't know.
out.
We don't know what it is, right?
We don't know, but you know what? 2 points make a line. By this point, we kind of know what Disney's doing. You know.
Now this is the Pixar movie, but the regular Disney animated movie coming out, and that comes out in November, will be Moana 2.
Why?
I still haven't seen Moana yet.
You haven't seen Moana? It's actually really good.
No, I actually got the Blu-ray from my sister, and she let me have her digital copy years back. I used to buy Disney movies. People forget, I used to be a supporter of Disney. I wasn't a pixie duster, but
Right.
I thought any studio that puts out good quality movies, I'll buy them, or buy them for friends or family. And then this happened. This is a good one. December 20th, 2024, they're going to own the box office. Mufasa, the Lion King. The prequel, remember?
Look, I would think that, well, you know what? I don't think there's anybody at Disney that has any continuity to know this. But let's go back to the Eisner era, right? This whole idea of prequels and sequels and all this bullshit, they were never popular. Stop this crap. Really getting sick and tired of this. And somebody must have just let out, because I'm seeing Putin's cat.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I might be behind on my comics, so I'm not sure what you're referring to, but we're glad you're here. Welcome.
Welcome.
And Playing Down Under, hello. Welcome. Good to see you. Glad you're here. But yeah, I kind of liked the first Inside Out, but I've already seen the promos, and I'm thinking no. Okay. This is I'll tell you what. When is this supposed to come out?
This summer, Inside Out 2. This is their big summer release.
That's great. That's wonderful. This is just going to help Nelson Peltz gain more stock.
Not only that,
year.
but you know what's going to be out not the same weekend, but around the same time is going to be. We'll get into this later, but I think Despicable Me 4.
Oh yeah, well, you know what, guys, you got to come in here and say, hey, Dead Man Walking Raid, so that we know, where you guys are coming from. Super appreciate all of you, and super appreciate him for sending you over here. I hope you enjoy the content we're putting out here. I am 3/4 of the way through a rather strong Bloody Mary. How many times have I said Bloody Mary?
What's a good snack with a Bloody Mary? I'm thinking Sun Chips.
It is.
I don't know why.
Oh, actually, now that you say that, that's not a bad idea. I was going to say, I'm just fine with the
plain
parsley
Sun Chips,
and olives and celery that came with it, but damn it, man, now I want Sun Chips.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I understand.
Because it's not really, I didn't want to do like tortilla chips, because that's also, you have that sauce. But I'm thinking plain Sun Chips, the normal plain Sun Chips.
Tortilla chips with margaritas.
There you go.
I know that on one of my birthday streams, I told the story about when I started with the management company downtown. I was in my first week of training in their management program, and the district manager was having a birthday. We went to Su Casa downtown, and there were these pitchers of margaritas, and Chris, the guy sitting across from me, just kept pouring and kept pouring. And I was eating the chips, and the chips are salty, so you drink more margarita, and I was
go.
friggin' ripped. I was singing a happy birthday in Spanish, playing the maraca. They put a big sombrero on my head. It was.
See, I didn't find out any of this until the next day. All I knew is that he came home very, very late and kind of crawled through the front door.
Yeah. If I hadn't had one of my coworkers walk me to the L tracks, I never would have gotten home.
I don't even know how you got from the train station home.
I look a bit like that. Okay, it's at least partially the beard. I get that. But thank you. That there are worse things I could look like, I suppose. But
anyway, you curious about Disney's 2025?
What is
we'll get
Disney
to that in a minute.
And especially when it comes to Disney, I'm going to say that anything that they have prescribed for beyond 2024, take it with a huge grain of salt, because
well, these are animated pictures. They have to be in the work years in advance, though.
Well, that's true.
And that's mainly what I'm talking about right now. We're going to get into the other branches in a minute. Elio. That's another Pixar movie. I guess it's an original.
Okay.
Next coming up becoming Pixar after Inside Out is 2025's Elio, which was originally slated to be released spring 2024, but was pushed back to summer 2025. Titular Elio will be voiced by Jonas Kibreb, and America Ferrera will play his mother, Olga. What's it about? It doesn't say. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's Eastern European. I don't know.
That actually sounds really good, Sashi. We eat chili fried chicken with beer down here.
Okay.
Or fried anchovies with sliced green chili and onion drizzled with lime juice. Damn, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
You ready for March 21st, 2025?
Hit me with it.
Snow White.
Fuck that. Fuck it.
Oh, directed by Mark Webb. No.
I'll be honest with you. I'm probably more looking forward to the Daily Wire's version.
Plus, Mark Webb's directing it. I didn't even realize he's the one directing it. He's not a good director. He did those the two Amazing Spider-Man movies of Andrew Garfield, which I didn't care for. And then I see Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I realize he was just not used properly in those movies. He's very good as Peter Parker in No Way Home.
Yeah.
I just... and then June 27, 2025, they're doing Moana. I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute.
Live action.
That's who this is, the live action version.
Yeah.
You're excited? No?
No, not at all.
And apparently, well, maybe that's 2026, or I don't know. Nobody knows anymore. Okay.
Maybe they'll cancel that freaking thing, and The Rock can say, "You're welcome."
Tron Ares for 2025. Oh, no. There are certain things when people get their hands on properties, like there are things I care about and things that I don't care as much about, but I respect the fact that other people are getting upset. Like Warhammer, I never got into it, but I understand the fans are feeling it now, and I feel bad for them. But then there's things like Doctor Who or James Bond where they just it's like a twist of the knife, and Tron is another twist of the knife. I don't know what they're planning, but I just worry they're going to mess this up royally.
If you want to know what's going on with Tron Ares, you should be subscribed to and hit the notification bell for Nerd Cookies. Okay. She is all over that.
What's she been saying? Good or bad? Just you don't have to tell me the details.
She is very reticent. Okay,
I'm the same way. Yeah.
She is also. She's talked about what the original idea was after the last Tron, and
MCP program coming back.
Ares is completely different, and she's at least reticent. She has a way of, how negative I can get.
Is this a reboot?
No, not exactly. This is still a sequel.
No, I'm not.
But she has a way. Nerd Cookies has this great way of, the way I would say, this is bullshit. I don't give a crap about this non-canon, whatever that they're putting out. No, she just lays out the facts, and she says it in that really sweet kind of pseudo ASMR-ish type young lady voice that she has. And she says, I'm a little concerned because, and I'm like, at least I'm not exploding through the top of my head, because she's got this calming effect, this calming way of saying this is bullshit.
Yeah, that should be our catchphrase, is this is bullshit every time something gets...
It's all just bullshit. Yeah.
All right. November 26th.
Let's put that on a t-shirt, Netter. Okay. This is bullshit.
You want to know what comes out November 26th?
Done for you.
There we go.
Do you want to know what comes out November 26th, 2025?
What's that?
Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2.
Okay.
Remember Zootopia?
I did like Zootopia.
Okay. Do you know what? My only comment on Zootopia was I remember they originally canceled the Tron Uprising series because I think some rumor going around, somebody said, we don't want this to get a furry-like following. I didn't know what that meant because these characters aren't animals. I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm saying you said that you didn't want that show getting a furry-like following, but you make Zootopia.
Yeah. I know, exactly.
If you know what I mean.
Hungry for True Doctor Who, I am a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Not as big as, like, for example, Michael French from Retro Blasting, who's actually building the robots.
Oh, that's neat.
But
I used to watch it regularly back in the day.
Yeah. It was a great way to watch, and let's face it, it's what kind of inspired some of our rewatches.
I liked it when they would do these 1950s B pictures.
Yep.
That were probably on the B-roll. Like, they weren't horrible productions like some of the other ones, but they were still like they always had these weird morality tales in them, which were so bad. It's like...
Did they ever do Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
Yes, they did.
I'll have to check that out, because
that was during the Joel era. Yes.
I obviously that fell into public domain for a while, so I've got it on DVD, and of course, for a while, Svengoolie was doing it every year.
Yep, they did do that. It was they did 2 Christmas episodes, maybe 3. I don't know. I know they did 2. The other was Santa Claus, which was this weird Mexican Santa Claus movie that was dubbed in English, and it's basically, I'm not kidding you, it's Santa Claus versus Satan.
Oh my gosh, I can kind of, that kind of makes sense.
Because and like, there's this scene where the devil's whispering into this young girl. Her name's Lupita. Her family's poor, and he's like, "Go! Why don't you steal that doll, Lupita? Don't you deserve that doll?" And then, like, her conscience gets better. No, I will not steal the doll. And Santa Claus, and he goes, "Santa Claus doesn't bring toys to poor children." And then he disappears on her. What do you think of that?
I'm actually intrigued now. Now I kind of want to see it.
It's a fascinating movie. It's just, watch it around Christmas time. Maybe it's
Santa versus Satan, huh?
That's basically the plot. I'm not joking. Yeah. It's there's so many lines in it, instead of living at the North Pole, he lives in a city in the clouds, which makes no sense. And instead of elves, he has children working for him from all around the world. It makes no sense.
Actually, you know what? I could take a story like that and make it make sense. They're kids from around the world, but they were like orphans and they had nowhere to go. So
maybe that's what it is. So he brought them over there. Like, you have kids from every country there, and of course they every stereotype. And of course, I think they had the American kids and they were dressed like cowboys. It's like every stereotype. And
I'll tell you what, there was a time when you could stereotype and no one was offended. They would laugh. You stereotype, just, they're cowboys. And, like, other countries just think cowboys when they think of the United States. Okay, that's kind of funny,
That's how the Brits saw us, actually, before World War II broke out, because when the Americans came over, many of them had never met Americans before.
Right.
They just knew them from the movies, and they figured they were all going to be like cowboys.
And let's be honest. Let's be honest.
It's not so far off, right?
It's not really, right? You know, that whole, you know, you kind of get it from Star Trek 6, right? The cowboy diplomacy, right? That attitude. There's an attitude that Americans have that's very cowboy, right?
Can I answer Putin's cat? I need more fiber
I don't
and
know.
protein.
Can
Can
you?
anyone help? I got to tell you, I've been addicted lately. I got to stop because I don't know if this is necessarily a thing that's good for me, but I love Jack Link's Tender Bites teriyaki flavor. It's like the beef jerky, but they come in little bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, no, there's no fiber there. Meat is going to bind you up.
Yeah, but he wanted protein. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm a
protein,
big fan of anything,
so here's what
anything
you do.
beef-related, beef sticks, beef anything. Yeah, just no.
Here's what you do. You have your red meats, right? Make sure you get your complete proteins, right?
And some prune juice.
None of these nuts and twigs and berries bullshit. Get your protein from red meat, okay? And bison is better than beef, but take what you can get. Take what you can get. And as far as fiber goes, there's nothing wrong with, you know, taking a fiber supplement, but that's basically just corn husks. You're certainly going to enjoy it more if you're getting it in, you know, get your salads, your celeries, your
Raisin Bran.
No, stay away from Kellogg everything.
Not other brands make Raisin Bran. It's not. There's Post Raisin Bran. There may even be a healthier version out there.
Yeah.
I don't.
And stay away from Kellogg cornflakes. Get Post Toasties instead.
Okay.
If you must have dry cereals, but
I like the dry cereals.
Stick to your whole cereal, whole foods. You know, get.
He should have been here with our. I don't know, with our health expert the other week. You could have told you a good source of.
And I'll be doing some more food videos going forward because I think it's very important that we talk about food freedom. Especially here in the United States. But
eat a big juicy steak and all will be right in the world, says Geek Flag.
My mouth is just watering thinking.
Okay, let's move on. We got to get through Disney before we move over to Rumble. And by the way, we're still going to be covering Disney. It's just we're going into the Lucasfilm part of it and Marvel. Unless do you still want to go over to Rumble? You want to?
I do want to go over to Rumble.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, but we'll do that. Oh, it's already coming up on 11 o'clock.
Coming up on midnight, dude, or 11.
Well, midnight your time.
Do you want to know what's in 2026 though for Disney? Frozen 3. Frozen 3.
I am not even sure Disney will exist as a company by then.
Okay, what else is in 2026? Toy Story 5.
Really? What else can they do with it? And he's going off to college. He gave away his toys.
All the toys are in a secondhand store. You know, that's where the stories can take place. Yeah, exactly.
Tom Hanks and Tim Allen have both been confirmed to return for Toy Story 5.
Okay.
Well, at least that's a step in the right direction. Bring Tim Allen back because
he wasn't in the movie.
That movie sucked.
I heard bad things.
That just sucked.
And of course, with the big reveal of who Emperor Zurg was.
Actually, Sashi, yeah, there is fiber in lentils, and there's a good deal of protein. It's not a complete protein, but it's still really good.
You know what if I go to Carrabba's, I get the sausage lentil soup.
Oh, my grandmother used to make a lentil soup. It didn't have sausage in it though, although. You know, she probably just never thought of it. Otherwise, she'd have put chopped up pieces of Italian sausage in it.
Yeah, that's what she did. It's a hot sausage, though. Yeah.
Yes, the hot sausage.
I gotta tell you, Italian hot sausage. I don't care that no one has anything on. That is the hottest thing. That actually doesn't agree with me if I eat it like by itself. I can't do it. And I like spicy food, but no. The Italians have cast iron stomachs. I don't know how they get through that.
Oh, dude.
Because I went to Romano's and I had the sausage there and I was feeling it later. Oh, yeah.
My family would eat
like
hot sausage with hot peppers.
Wow. Holy cow.
On a grilled piece of Italian bread.
That is
a snack.
Oh, yeah. My uncle used to eat jardiniere as an open-faced sandwich on a piece of Italian bread. And he'd be eating it, and he'd be just sweating. He'd be sweating.
Ooh, red beans and rice for fiber. That's a good one.
Oh, God, you guys stop! You're making me hungry.
I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, do you want to wrap it up here? It's almost.
Are we done with? Are we done with Disney?
With regular Disney. We haven't gotten into Marvel yet. But
if we're done with Disney, then we probably can go ahead and
go over to Rumble.
Make this a good. So what
next up is Marvel, though. Okay, because Disney is multi.
Oh, we'll switch over to Rumble there. Okay.
Okay.
So let me get the link.
Well, I better go over to Rumble, shouldn't I? I should have been watching on there all along.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to be shutting down the YouTube stream. If you want to stay with us, come on over to Rumble.
Yes.
Just because, guys, I super appreciate all your support, and if I could get you guys to subscribe to me over there too, give me watch time over there, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but here I am with over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, not monetized, made $0. Well, except from direct contributions from you wonderful people.
Lady V dropped your Rumble stream. Pin it to the top. You also dropped it, but pin it to the top.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me.
Yeah, he's made like a whole $1 on Rumble.
I've made over $1 on Rumble.
That bag of sun chips will be yours soon enough.
I have 55 subscribers there. That is an order of magnitude difference from where I am with YouTube. So that tells you something.
I've paid 17 cents and I have 14 followers.
Yeah, so it's something anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shut down the YouTube stream right now. And YouTube, thanks for being a platform, and otherwise,
bye.
Fuck you. Bye bye. There we go.